What's up, you guys? It's Susie from HeyGrillHey.com, and today I am privileged to be cooking the queen bee of beef steaks. That's right, a porterhouse steak. We're gonna reverse sear this using the smoker and a cast iron skillet to a beautiful rosy medium rare. I can't wait. Let's do it. Let's start with a little bit of meat education here so that you are a more confident consumer when you head to the meat counter. You know exactly what you're buying, because this is like a celebration steak and you want to have everything that you need before you get started. So let's talk about what you're getting when you go to your butcher counter. I have two steaks here. Not both of them are porterhouse. One is a porterhouse and one is a T-bone. Now, they're both cut from the same primal piece of beef, the short loin. However, they're cut from different portions. The porterhouse is cut further back, the T-bone is cut closer to the front, and so they have different portions of tenderloin attached. Now, a porterhouse is made up of a strip steak attached to a tenderloin. T-bone is exactly the same. But the tenderloin, you can see how tiny this fillet is. For a porterhouse steak to be called a porterhouse and not a T-bone, the tenderloin portion here has to be at least 1¼ inches thick. That means none of this tiny little tenderloin portion over here, a nice beefy thick tenderloin. Porterhouses are also cut generally a little bit thicker. They're about 1.5 inches thick. And this guy comes in at a whopping 24 ounces. This is a two-person steak, in my opinion. Perfect for maybe Valentine's Day or anniversary dinner. You know, you get the New York strip side for you, and then your dainty husband gets the filet portion.
Hey.
Or vice versa. Or you could each have a little bit of both. Either way, this is a steak aimed to please and perfect for, you know, a romantic dinner together. You also want to look for marbling when you're picking out your porterhouse steak. You want a really rosy red color in the meat itself, and then you want beautiful white flecks of fat marbled throughout the meat. That's going to be flavor, that's going to be moisture, and that's going to be tenderness. So the more flaky fat, the better. Seasoning, super simple. You could go as simple as salt and pepper here. I'm going to be seasoning my porterhouse with my beef seasoning. It is a salt and pepper based seasoning, has some little extras in there for zhuzh, but it will complement the beef and not overwhelm it, because we want to taste the meat, right? Just give that a light dusting. And then press it into the meat with your hands. You can dry brine these steaks. That means get your seasoning on there and then let it sit in the refrigerator uncovered on a plate, preferably on a rack, so that you can circulate the air all the way around the meat. And then I like to let mine sit for at least an hour per pound. This is a 1.5 pound steak, so this would be 90 minutes uncovered in the fridge to dry brine, if that's what you want to do. Otherwise, like me, I'm just gonna go straight on the grill here. I think the seasoning provides plenty of flavor. We're gonna get it in the smoke, we're gonna sear it. It's gonna be delicious. Okay.
Might as well cook that T-bone while we're at it, huh?
Might as well cook the T-bone while we're at it. Okay. Steaks are seasoned. I'm gonna get these onto my smoker. I have it preheated to 225 degrees. I love oak with steak, but truly, any wood that you've got in your smoker would be delicious with these. Now we're gonna be using a process called the reverse sear method. 225 low temperature is gonna slowly raise the internal temperature of our steaks, add that yummy smoke flavor, and then we're gonna hot and fast sear at the end. These are gonna be in the smoker for about 1 hour, but you wanna keep an eye on temperatures using an internal thermometer and pull your steaks off when they're about 10 degrees away from where you want it to finish. For example, if you wanna finish with a rare steak at 125, you're gonna be cooking your steak on your smoker until it's to 115. For medium rare, you wanna cook it to 125 so that we can finish it at 135. And so forth upwards, but just don't go there. Pull it off at 125 for medium rare, okay? Our Porterhouse and T-bone steaks have been smoking for about 30 minutes. I'm just gonna give them a quick flip because I'm cooking these on a pellet smoker. The heat source is at the bottom. Giving them a quick flip will just ensure a more even cook. Our Porterhouse steak has been on for just about an hour. It's time to check our temperatures and then get ready to sear. Steaks are at 125, exactly where we want them. Right now they are rare, but we are going to take them to medium rare these last 10 degrees in our cast iron skillet. So I have one preheating 12 inches over medium-high heat. I'm just gonna drizzle into the pan 4 tablespoons of avocado oil. This is really high heat cooking oil. It'll give us a beautiful crispy sear without anything burning. Once our oil starts to shimmer on top, it's nice and preheated, we need to grab our steak and add it to the pan. I'm also gonna add in 2 cloves of garlic and 2 sprigs of thyme. And the secret here is to not touch this steak. Do not move it for the next 2 minutes. Let that crust really develop on the outside. Two minutes in, the steak is ready to flip. Now we're gonna add in a little bit more flavor. I've got 4 tablespoons of butter. I'm gonna add it to the pan. I'm gonna use my spoon and I'm gonna baste the top of this steak with the butter, the thyme, the garlic. And then I'm gonna keep checking the temperature and pull it off when it gets to about 130 to 135 degrees. Steaks are seared and beautiful. Now we just need to let them rest for about 10 minutes or so before we slice them off of the bone into individual slices. And then if you are somebody that loves the people you're feeding, like I imagine you are, you can arrange your steaks on the bone in the cast iron skillet with all of that garlicky, thymy butter. Little extra drizzle on top. It'll keep them nice and warm. My mouth's already watering. Waiting for these to rest might kill me. We're gonna call that 10 minutes. I think it was close. Just take a knife, a sharp knife, and run it along where you can see the visible bones, just to remove this strip steak, and then remove the fillet. You're not gonna be able to get all of the meat off the bone here, and I actually think that is fantastic because if you serve these sliced steaks with the bone, that means somebody gets to pick up those bone pieces and gnaw all of that juicy, smoky meat off of it. There's something very carnivorous about it. Very satisfying. Still warm. Nestle in that thyme, the fried garlic, grab your spoon, top with some more of that yummy butter. And then I say sprinkle with just a little extra salt on top. Any of your favorite flaky sea salt will do. I'm gonna use some of my smoked salt. And that is a treat fit to share with a loved one. Speaking of, I think I'm gonna bring in my loved one. Taste test Todd, everybody. Oh, you're gonna hand the camera off. Yeah, come on. You're gonna eat some. Hi, baby.
What you got?
A Porterhouse steak, because I love you. So, strip, fillet, or the bone in the middle.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with this little piece of fillet right
Yeah,
here,
I
because
want-
it looks super
I
juicy.
want filet. Filet me.
We're using our fingers because
We
I
live
don't
here.
know, romance or something.
Cheers.
Meat cheers.
That's so good.
So tender. So tender. You get all of the smoky flavor from that first hour in the smoker. You can catch those little pieces of fried thyme on top and that garlicky butter in between every piece.
That's what I was gonna say.
Took the words right out of his mouth.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna keep eating. I hope you guys give this recipe a try at home. Make a beautiful porterhouse steak for a special occasion or a Tuesday. We don't need a reason, okay? We don't need a reason. When you do, snap a photo, use the hashtag #HeyGrillHey when you post it online. That way Todd and I can see it and cheer you on your journey to becoming a backyard barbecue hero. See you next time.